Hello student. Today we discussed about the reproductive system part 2. In our previous lecture we described some like a male and female reproductive organ and physiology of mensurations etc. Now today topic is the fertilization, parturitions and the gametogenesis. Now first we discuss about the fertilization. So what is fertilization? Fertilization is the fusion of gametes. In this process, male gamete fuses with the female gamete to form zygote. And a zygote has the characteristics of both the parents. Therefore, it accomplishes two main goals. The first is development of new life on earth, and the secondly it carries gene from both the parents. So the process of fertilization greatly varies from one organism to the another, or in some organism where a very basic method of fertilization is applied, whereas in some other modification in the process can be observed with a little of complexity. But there are certain steps that are common in all organisms, which include recognition of sperm, contact between egg and sperm, and the fusion of egg with sperm, and the start of development the process. So we discuss about the fertilization, but we should know about the structure of sperm first. So there are a few points that are common in the entire organism undergoing fertilization. Here two terms have been talked about: sperm and egg. This sperm are the male and female gamete respectively. In the shape and the function of both varies, but in the absence of anyone, the process of fertilization is incomplete. It means the sperm and ova both are very important for the fertilization process. Because of this, the process fertilization is not be complete. So the sperm is a male gamete that take place in the process of fertilization, and there are certain structure present in the sperm that help it to the penetrate inside the egg. It is divided into head, neck, and tail. There is a haploid nucleus that contains DNA, and just above nucleus is a cap, like a structure called acrosome. So, acrosome contain many enzymes that help in the process of fertilization, and both these components are locked inside the plasma membrane and hence make up head of sperm. And the neck of sperm consists of centriole, mitochondria, and axonemes. Axoneme is formed from the microtubule arranged in a specific pattern. In the core of axoneme, there are two microtubules present in doublet, where one is complete and other is incomplete in structure. Finally, the tail portion, which is made up of flagellum, and the movement of flagellum depends on the energy supplied in the form of ATP, and this ATP is supplied into the flagellum by mitochondria. And one more factor is involved in the propulsion of sperm, which is denine. Denine is present in axonemes and provide energy for the propulsions of the sperm. And sperm from testes reaches seminiferous tubule under the guidance of the female reproductive organ like vagina, cervix, etc. And then further process of fertilization take place. And next is the structure of the egg. Egg is the female gamete that take part in the process of fertilization, and it contains all the material and nourishes zygote and help in the development of fetus. The cytoplasm of the egg include ribosome, messenger RNA, nucleus, chemical, and many of the other important substances. It is further covered by plasma membrane that help in the exchange of material in and out of the cell. And the plasma membrane has the covering of vitelline membrane that is made up of different kind of glycoprotein, and in its function is a recognition of the attraction of sperm. Now the process of fertilization. So how the fertilization take place? First, many sperm enter the female reproductive tract, but only one fuse with the egg, and this fusion must within 72 hours. It is because sperm can survive in the female reproductive tract only for a particular time period. Once it enters reproductive tract, it undergoes several changes in the fallopian tube of the female system and gaining high motility. Once the sperm penetrates the egg, the outer portion gets thickened and the end piece, the tail of the sperm, is removed. And these changes are completed in different steps that include extension of nucleus and the acrosomal process. So what is the acrosomal process? The acrosomal process gets elongated and fuses with the plasma membrane that lies at the outer portion. Then the elongated acrosomal process pyrosis the jelly coat of egg, and the acrosomal granules that have many enzymes loaded start reacting at this point, assisting the acrosomal process in the fusion with the plasma membrane of the egg. Once the plasma membrane of the sperm enter the cytoplasm of the egg, thus forms the zygote, and hence the fertilization is complete. In the initial level, zygote has the entire nutrient of its growth and development, and the process of fertilization in human is interesting that brings up the new life of the earth. Slowly, when zygote develop into the fetus, it start receiving all necessary nutrients from the mother, and hence after a period of time, the baby is born. So that is our next topic, parturitions. So what is parturitions? Parturition is a simple language we also call the childbirth. So childbirth is a complication in the pregnancy during which a baby grow inside a woman's uterus, and the childbirth is also called labor. Pregnant humans go into labor roughly 9 months after the conception period. So there are partition means giving birth, expelling the fetus, strong contractions of the uterus, expulsion of the baby, and also two important factor is the excitability and the stronger contractions. A progressive mechanical changes developed. Okay, the stages of parturition. There are three main stages of pasteurization during the childbirth. First is the dilation. In the dilation, the first stage of pasteurization start on the onset of the labor. The labor pain start during it is the first process, and it continue until the cervix is fully dilated, and the dilation is divided into two phases: a latent phase and active phase. In the latent phase, the cervix size is about 0 to 4 centimeters, and the active phase cervix is the 4 to 10 centimeter dilated. It is the dilated phase, and the latent phase take about 6 hours for women who giving birth for the first time. It takes around 5 hours for women who give birth previously. For some women, the latent phase may be 8 to 12 hours. And in the active phase, it is expected that the cervix will dilate at the rate of about 1 centimeter per hour for a woman who's giving birth for the first time. For a woman who previously had a vaginal delivery, the rate is typically about 2 centimeter per hour. Second is the expulsion phase. It is the second stage of parturition, start at full dilation and continues until the birth. And this stage also has two phases, passive and active. In the passive, the baby head moves down through the vagina, and the active phase, the mother feels a need to push or contract the abdominal muscles in the time of uterine contraction. And the active phase lasts about 45 minutes for women who's having first baby. For women who had already vaginal delivery, the active phase lasts about 30 minutes. And the second end, with the birth of baby, at this point the umbilical cord is clamped and the breastfeeding is often encouraged to help with stage 3. So our third stage is the placental. The third stage of parturition start after birth and the end with the delivery of after birth. If the doctor take an active role, including gently pulling on the placenta, stage 3 typically take around 5 minutes. If the placenta is delivered without assistance, stage 3 can be around 30 minutes. Okay, there are so many complications during the childbirth. There are a number of complications are like fetal distress, nuptial cord breach. They also are also seen in many women. In some of the most common complications include in the fetal distress typically refers to a slowdown in the baby heart rate. A doctor usually address this by using a vacuum extractor or forceps to speed up the birth, and if that unsuccessful, a cesarean delivery might be called for, and this is surgery for a deliver the baby. Nuptial cord, this is when the umbilical cord wrap around the baby's neck. Around a nuptial cord doesn't mean danger for the baby. It could become a problem if the mother can't push the baby out. And vacuum excretor or forceps are unsuccessful. A cesarean delivery might be the best treatment for this situation. And the word is a breech. Breech is a human baby should be delivered with their head down. A breech pregnancy is when the baby is position feet down, bottom down or sideways. Sometimes a doctor can repositions the baby manually. Sometimes the solution is a cesarean delivery. Okay, the next topic is the gametogenesis. What is the gametogenesis? Is the production of the sperm and the egg take place through the process of meiosis. Okay, in the oogenesis, diploid oogonium go through mitosis until one develop into a primary oocyte, which will begin the first mitotic division. And in the secondary oocyte begin second mitotic division and then arrest again. It will not finish the division unless it is fertilized by a sperm. And in the spermatogenesis is the production of sperm. The diploid spermatogonia go through mitosis until they become to develop into the gametes. Okay, there are some important terms like spermatocyte, oocyte, polar body, mitosis, meiosis. What is spermatocytes? A male gametocytes from which a spermatozoon develop, oocytes, a cell that develop into egg or ovum, and polar body, one of the small cells that are byproduct of the meiosis. And the mitosis is the division of cell nucleus in which genome is copied and separated into two identical walls. And in the meiosis, cell division of diploid cell into the four haploid cells which develop to produce gametes. Okay, the gametogenesis is the production of sperm and eggs take place through the process of meiosis. And already we discussed what is meiosis. In the two cell division separate the paired chromosomes in the nucleus and then separate the chromatids. They are made up during an earlier stage of cell's life. And the production of sperm is called as spermatogenesis and the production of egg is called the oogenesis. So what is oogenesis? Oogenesis occur in the outermost layer of the ovaries as with sperm production. Oogenesis start with germ cells called oogonium. Oogonium is a plural word, but this cell undergo mitosis to increase in number, eventually resulting in up the 1 or 2 million cell in the embryo. So look at this diagram. The cell starting meiosis is called primary oocyte, and this cell will begin the first mitotic division but be arrested in its progress the first prophase stage. At the time of birth, all future egg are in the prophase stage, and adolescence anterior pituitary hormone cause the development of the number of follicles in ovary. So this results in primary oocyte finishing the first mitotic division cell, and the cell divide unequally with the most of the cellular material, and organelle is going to one cell. This is called a secondary oocyte, and only one set of chromosome and small amount of cytoplasm going to another cell. So this is a second cell called polar body are usually die. A secondary mitotic arrest occur at this time at the metaphase second stage. Now the ovulation, this secondary oocyte will be released and travel toward the uterus through oviduct. If the secondary oocyte is fertilized, the cell continue through meiosis and completing meiosis, producing a second polar body and a fertilized egg containing all 46 chromosomes, a human being, and half of coming from the sperm. So the next is the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis occur in the wall of the seminiferous tubule with the stem cell and the periphery of the tube and the spermatozoa at the lumen of the tube, and immediately under the capsule of the tubule are the diploid. And during this, the undifferentiated cell, these stem cells called spermatogonia, and the spermatogonia is the singular word meaning the spermatogonium, go through mitosis with one offspring going on to differentiate into the sperm cell, while the other give rise to the next generation of the sperm. So in this process, meiosis begin with a cell called primary spermatocytes. At the end of the first mitotic division, a haploid cell is produced called a secondary spermatocytes. And the haploid cell must go through another mitotic cell division, and the cell produced at the end of meiosis called spermatid. When it reaches the lumen of the tubule and grow a flagellum or tail, is called the sperm cell, and the four sperm cells result from each primary spermatocytes and goes through the meiosis. And stem cells are deposited during gastrations and are present at the birth, go through the beginning of adolescence but in an inactive state. And during adolescence, gonadotropic hormone from the anterior pituitary cause the activation of these cells and the production is viable sperm, and this continue into the old age. So thank you for your kind attentions.